Good evening, folks. Kenny Session coming to you guys this evening with my Wisdom Wednesday show. We actually did the show earlier today, but we had some problems with the volume. So I thought I would come back and do it again because the topic that I have for us today is a very, very important topic. And I believe that, it will truly bless you as it has blessed me. And today I just want to kind of talk about senior citizens. There's some things are going on in our community I got to raise awareness to. Number one is that there are a lot of scams, as we all know, going around in our community. And what I want to alarm you to is that a lot of our senior citizens are being targeted. I had it happen to me on today where I had a scam artist call me on the phone pretending like they were PG&E and told me that PG&E was going to turn my electric off in 30 minutes if I didn't call them. And so, initially when I first got that call, I was a little apprehensive about it, but I did pick up the phone and call them. And upon calling them, I found out that they were asking me a lot of questions about my address and all of this stuff, but they hadn't actually given me. So I told the guy, I said, man, I'm not giving you all this information. I don't know who you are. And he says, well, yeah, I'm from PG&E, and you can call this number right here and verify who I am, blase, blase. And he went on to continue asking questions. So I told him at that time, he started asking me about, tell me I owe $499, and that if I didn't pay the money like right now, my electric was going to be off in 30 minutes. And obviously that was earlier today, and my electric is still on. So it was truly a scam. And I just want to make you guys aware of that, number one. Number two, the people that are being ripped off and losing their money at record paces is our senior citizens. I also had on Monday, I had the awesome opportunity to go over and sit with one of our senior citizens. She owns a home over in North Oakland. Many of you guys know for years and years, I've been doing what's called a senior citizen advocacy program, where if a senior citizen calls me with a real estate problem or an issue, I will go to their house, look at the documents myself, make sure that they are authentic. And if, in fact, it is whatever they're trying to do, they can accomplish that, they go ahead and do it, or I give them the okay, and I think this is reputable. Or many times, like it's happened the other day, I got a call from mother. She lives over in West Oakland, and I've been helping her for years. In fact, about 3 years ago, she was way behind on her payments on the house, and we were able to get her some money. We were able to get some things fixed on the house, and we were able to get her out of foreclosure. But mother is very, very sick now, and she can't get in and out of the stairs. So she called me. I guess she had someone go look at her house to see if she could convert her basement into rooms, which is problematic in itself. But that's what she had someone come over there and do. And they came back and told her that her house was sliding off the foundation and she needed to get the foundation fixed. Well, the next call she made was to me, and she asked me to come over, and I went and sat with her on Monday. And I went and looked at her basement. There's nothing wrong with mother's basement. She has been in a tizzy for like over 2 or 3 weeks because it took almost 2 weeks to get there because she was having chemotherapy. She had a couple of days when she wasn't there and we couldn't connect. But I finally got a hold of her and got over there on Monday. And I did look at the property. I've already told them her moving into the basement is totally out. It's too damp down there. As you guys know, underneath the house in the basement, there's all kind of bugs and spiders and all kind of stuff down there, not to mention, mold. So I did tell the family that I don't think it's a great idea that they put mother into the basement because she's having a problem getting up and down the stairs. I told them more so what we would do is just look into getting her a chairlift that can get her up and down the stairs. But again, what brought back to my attention, I was with mother for about 45 minutes, almost an hour on Monday. And when I was there, the phone rang about 4 times while I was there in that 45 minutes to an hour. And those were all telemarketers calling mother, trying to get mother to do something. And I wanted to bring that to your attention because I know We all have relatives. We have cousins. We have aunts, uncles, our brother, our grandparents that are sitting at home. They're being bombarded with calls all day, every day, where people are trying to sell them things over the phone, as well as scaring them. I know that if that call that was made to me today that initially scared me, when they called and said they were going to turn off my electricity in 30 minutes, it initially scared me to the point, wow, man, I better hurry up and go call them. And I did. But I did ask enough questions to ascertain that it wasn't them giving me information about my account. It was them trying to extract information out of me to give to them about the account. And I brought that to the man's attention. I said, I'm not giving you no pertinent information about nothing. You the one, if I owe you some money, you the one that need to be trying to figure out to tell me how I owe you and how much I owe you. And so the guy went on to say, okay, here's a phone number. You can call this phone number and they'll verify who I am. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you absolutely talking about? This number you want me to call to verify my PG&E account? I know PG&E's number. So why would you even need to give me any number? So the guy, he started, well, I said, look here, man, I'm not giving you no money. I'm not giving you no information. And if you want to get off my line, that's what you want to do. But before that, I said, well, you know what? Let me back up. Before that, I said, you know what? I ain't got to send you my money. I could just go to PG&E and pay my own bill. He said, well, yeah, all the offices are closed. And, here's the address to the office that you can drop it off at in San Francisco. It's like, man, you done lost your mind. So I knew it was a scam right away. But this is my Wisdom Wednesday today. We need to be vigilant with these phones. We need to be looking after our senior citizens. They are being bombarded with calls and all of these scams. I mean, if I could tell you stories right now about senior citizens that I know that have lost their homes over the years, that still does not sit right with me. That's one of the reasons we do the advocacy program, because I've seen too many seniors in our community, and trust me, I've seen a few that have lost their homes, encumbered their houses. And there's one story that I want to tell today, and it's about a lady by the name of Stella. I don't know if you never heard me tell the story of Stella. You really want to stop and listen to what I have to say about Stella. Stella was a barber over in North Oakland. Stella's daughter still cuts my hair to this day. And for years and years and years, I'll go to the barbershop. Everybody knows I do real estate. So one day I would go into the barbershop and Stella comes. I get ready to leave. Stella runs out. She says, Kenny, I got some questions I need to ask you about this loan I'm trying to get. I say, okay, Stella, what's going on? So Stella says to me, she says, well, Kenny, I'm trying to refinance my house. The payment on the house is too high. I can't afford it. And I need to get the payment lowered, but I'm already behind like 2 or 3 months on the payment. And I'm like, but Stella, wait a minute, 2 or 3 months. If you go and try to get a new loan and you're 2 to 3 months behind, you're not going to get a better loan than the one you have. It's going to be a worse loan, and the interest rates are going to be higher, and ultimately the payment will be higher on that house. Well, and she was like, well, they said. I said, well, Stella, I don't care what they say. You're not going to get a lower payment on this house. Well, what all ended up happening is on that day, I wasn't pressing the issue at all. I just went ahead, okay, Stella, let me know how I can help you. And I kind of left it alone. Well, about a month later, on a Friday afternoon, I was on my way to get ready to leave town, and Stella calls me on a Friday evening and says, Kenny, I just got a payment statement on my house, and it's no longer in my name. The payment coupon didn't come in my name. She said the payment coupon did not come in my name. Again, this is my Wisdom Wednesday. I need you guys to take note of this, because there are scams going around and they're affecting our senior citizens, and many of us don't know about it, because a lot of times our senior citizens don't even know that they've been scammed, or they're too embarrassed to tell us that they got taken advantage of. And I'm telling you the story of Stella, because Stella was taken advantage on my watch. And it still bothers me today. It still deeply bothers me today that Stella was taken advantage of on my watch. And Stella ended up losing her house. Not only did she lose her house, but when they took her house from her on that, well, actually, when I went and looked at the records, Stella had deeded her house over to the crooks way before she'd even come and talk to me. This had to be like in November or December, I remember, because it was around Thanksgiving. She had deeded her house to these people in July. And we were like in November or December. And I was like, oh my God, Stella, let me get back to you on Monday or Tuesday, because it was a long holiday. And let me figure out what's going on, and we'll fix out what's going to happen when I get back in the office on Monday or Tuesday. Well, Stella didn't make it to Tuesday. Stella had a stroke and died on Monday night. Tuesday or Sunday night or somewhere like that. Stella had a stroke and died from the fact that somebody took her house. And when I got back to the office on Tuesday, and I called over, hey, I'm calling Stella, trying to help. I want to go by there and see what's going on with her loan, what's happening with Stella. And I called and nobody answered. So I called my barber, what's going on with Stella, where's she at? And her daughter tells me, well, Stella died on Saturday night. This is 2 days after she told me, I informed her that someone had swindled her out of her house. And she had deeded her house. She had signed her house over to somebody. And she didn't even know it. She signed the house over to somebody, and they put her out. They were getting ready to come put her out. They didn't have to put her out because she died. She died, and they took the house because she couldn't fight to keep it. So she ended up losing that house. And because of that, and I remember the last thing Stella said to me, Kenny, you mean to tell me I've been making payments on this house all these years and I gave the house away? I said, Stella, I can't tell you what's going on right now, but when I get back in the office on Monday or Tuesday, I'll look into it, and whatever's going on, I'll fix it. But I didn't. And it really bothers me, you guys. That's why I'm coming back on today and doing this show over, because this morning we did the show, but the sound was really bad. But I wanted people to hear this because it's even worse now than it was back then. There are scam artists all over the place, and they are preying on our senior citizens. They're preying on their emotions. Just like I got preyed on today. I had a scam artist call me and tell me I needed to send them some money, else my electricity would be off in 30 minutes. And initially I caught a feeling initially. I was a little scared. Ooh, I better call them. Like, they ain't going, man, I got too much work to do to be getting my electric off today. So I called the man back. And the man went all into this stuff, and he's just trying to extract information out of me. He's trying to extract information out of me. And I recognized that he hadn't told me nothing about my account. I'm the one that's doing all the talking about the account. So I was like, man, I'm not giving you no pertinent information until not about this. You called me on the phone. I don't do that, man. You called me soliciting me, and I'm going to give you all my personal information. I don't know who you are. And he says, well, you can call this number right here. I said, man, I don't need you to give me no number to call. PG&E is a public utility company, and their number is public. Well, I don't need you to know number that you go, well, they're on their way to your house right now, and they're going to turn your electricity off if you don't give us this $499 right now. I said, sir, well, I guess I'm going to be sitting here in the dark. I guess I'm going to be sitting in the dark because I'm not giving you one dime. Not today, not tomorrow, no day. So that gave me rise to talk about what's happened with Mother the other day, with somebody trying to scare her into having some major work done on her house when it doesn't even need it. Okay, and we have to be our parents' keepers these days, our grandparents' keepers, our parents' keepers. We need to be our parents' keepers. Don't just assume your parents and your grandparents are as sharp as they used to be. They are very vulnerable right now, and they can be very easily taken advantage of. That's my Wisdom Wednesday today. We need to be our grandparents and our parents' keepers. As they age and they get older, they are not as sharp as they used to, and they're playing these scam artists are playing on their emotions. They're calling them up all day. I sat with Mother for a whole 45 minutes the other day. And while I was there, her phone rang at least 4 times from different people calling her, trying to get her to buy something or sell something or any of that. So my Wisdom Wednesday today is we need to take care of our grandparents. Why? Because again, I told the story of Stella. You guys weren't here. I see some new people in the room and I want to share it if you don't leave. Well, Stella actually not only lost her house, Stella lost her life too. Because they stole her house. And after they stole her house, before I could get back to Stella, Stella had a stroke and died. Okay? And it still bothers me to this day. That's why I have a senior citizen advocacy program. Any senior citizen, white, black, green, whatever color they are, if they're going through a problem with their real estate and they don't know what to do, then what they need to do is they need to call this number on the screen, 510-568-4200. I am my community's keeper. Hey, Angel, I see you in the room. Thanks for stopping through. I'm redoing my Wisdom Wednesday today because earlier my mics weren't working right and we had a lot of sketchiness in it, and I needed to redo this. So I thought I'd come on tonight maybe and get a few new people that need to understand that we are under full attack by these scam artists. We under a full attack. Now, you think about it. How many of them they call you every day? But then let's go talk about your grandmother or your mother, and they calling her day after day after day after day, and it wears them down. I've gone to people's houses where one mother over there on Adeline some years ago, I went over there to see about her house because she had a reverse mortgage and they were getting ready to foreclose on her, and I went over to consult with her because I do that, I follow that, and I saw her house. And I went over and knocked on the door and told your mother what's going on. And mother opened the door and just let me in the house. I'm like, come on, mother. You can't just let me in your house like that. You don't even know me. You don't even know me. And you just let me in your house like I'm your grandson. I ain't your grandson. And I waited there and called, got her sister, her daughter's number and everybody. And I called everybody and let them know that I'm sitting here in your mama's house. Your mama then opened the door and let me in. And she don't know me from nobody. But y'all know me because my office is around the corner over here on 19th and Market Street, and that's where I reside. This is who I am, and this is what I do. I had another situation, it's almost similar. This lady, I called her because, again, I track foreclosed properties that are in default. I can't write this minute, but I used to track them every day. I know how long you've been in default. I know when you're getting ready to lose it. And I would call and offer free services to people in our community. And those that I could help save their house, I saved. And those that I couldn't, I sold and made a commission and then relocated them. I've done that with many senior citizens. But this particular senior citizen, she was a mother. She made choir robes. And she had a sewing room down in her basement. Never will forget it. When I went and knocked on her door, mother didn't know me from nobody. I'm like, mother, this is such and such. I'm coming over. I see that you're behind on your house, and I'm coming to see if I can offer you any help. Mother opened the door wide and said, come on in. She let me in the house and walked me down to the basement to show me the choir room and walked her back. And the whole time I'm like, mother, how you gonna just let me in your house like this? How you just gonna, you can't just do this. Now I'm okay, but I'm just telling you, if you let anybody else in. So as I'm walking out, I'm trying to get out the house because I really don't want my good to be evil spoken of, but I also gotta be looking. So as I'm walking past her table, I look down on the table and there's a contract on the table with mother's signature on it. Mother had signed her house over to the crooks. And I walked past the table and looked on the table, and she had a table full of mail. But I could see enough that there was a grant deed on the house, on the paper that had been recorded. Mother lost her house almost paid for. I think she only owed $20,000-$30,000 on the house. She didn't sign the house over to the peoples and just signed it over. I don't know, because I think they had her signing some paperwork, and because mother wasn't reading the paperwork, she didn't know that she signed the grant deed. Lost her house. We took it down to the police station and filed a report on it. We went to the Center for Aging and reported it over there. They couldn't do nothing for about it. Mama ended up having to move out of a house she had been in for like over 40 years. She had to move. We got to be careful, you guys. Check your people, okay? Check your people. Make sure they know they don't sign no paperwork without you or somebody in the family present. We also need to be telling our seniors, do not open the door for people you don't know. I've had it happen more than that. more than once. But I know those two I just told you, where they just let me in the house and them people didn't know me. I could have went in and hit mother in the head and stole all of everything in there I wanted to and spent the night and ate up all the food and took all her money and her credit cards and everything, and nobody wouldn't have known the difference because they wasn't checking on her. And what the problem was there, she didn't have nobody to check on her. All of her kids were gone or something. I can't remember all the details, but there was nobody for me to call to come and help her. There was nobody. I had to help her. I remember there was a cat named the brother that worked at the city, my partner, Ray Leon. I called Ray Leon, this was going on with mother, and Ray went over there and I handed it off to Ray, and he kind of took it over for me because, I don't do that. But I there are people that will help her. And all I want to do to you guys, for you guys tonight, is wake up. Number one, there are a lot of scams going on. Be very careful with giving anybody your information over the phone. Number one. Number two, start taking care of our seniors. Okay, quit assuming that they are as sharp as they once were. They are not. Many of them are not. Okay, and we need to be our parents and our grandparents keepers. So that's my Wisdom Wednesday today. It ain't all, this one is not all spiritual and everything. This is just about kicking some knowledge for us, because we getting older. I'm getting older, and the older we get, the older our parents get. And sometimes we want to be so respectful. Like I was trying to be respectful for Stella. I don't want to go digging in Stella's business. You see how passionate I am about this? I didn't want to be like I'm trying to take her property or something, because of the passion I have for keeping people's properties in our community. So what I did is I backed away from her instead of me taking that thing over and saying and questioning her, what is going on, Stella? Well, who are these people? Why did they do this? I mean, who told you that they could do? See, I didn't do all of that because I was trying to be respectful of Stella's rights and her privacy. But me doing that cost Stella her life. Me not being more assertive with Stella cost Stella her life. She signed over her house, and then 48 hours later, she had a stroke and died. And that was 48 hours after she talked to me, and I informed her that I didn't have no choice but to tell her that you don't own the house no more. When I look up on the tax record and it got somebody else's name on it, and the deed was recorded in July, and you didn't come to me until something like September, October, talking about you need a refi on your house, when in fact you had already given the house away when you came to see me. Well, not to come see, when I saw you and you stopped me and asked me what to do, you already had signed the house over when that happened. When you need to check your people. Now, we do a senior advocacy program. Anybody you know that has a house, before they sign off, before they have contractors come over, before they do any of that, they want to hire some contractors, you need to be there and look at that paperwork. You need to be the one that go in there. If you don't know what to do with it, then you call me, and I will surely come. We need to start looking that over for our parents and our grandparents, because sometimes our parents are slipping too. And they're getting beat up, you guys. I'm telling y'all, we are becoming prey. And now, if you can, go pull their numbers out of those phones that they got in the wall. You need to try to get them numbers blocked, even though they're not really blockable. They say you can put them on the do not disturb list, but that's the ones they calling the most. If you get on that do not disturb list, that's the people who are going to be calling them the most. That do not disturb thing don't work. My mother got it on her phone, and she's still calling her all day and all night. How do I know? I had another senior citizen, Mama Mays. Y'all may have heard me talk about. I managed all of her real estate affairs, from the time she bought her house in 1995 to the time she passed away in 2019. I managed all of her real estate for her parents, her mother, her father, all of them. I sold her father's house, her mother's house. I took care of all of that because mother trusted me. Okay, and I took care of all of her affairs during her time. So anytime somebody called mother about something, she had it down. Give them my number. I don't talk about my real estate. Call my son, because I was an adopted child. Call my son. He'll take care of it. And I'll get these calls from these people. They got to go through me. You got to go through me to get to mother. You ain't gonna just get to go talk to mother without talking to me. And your mother and your grandmother is my mother too. She's the mother of the community. And we need to quit playing. Now, I'm upset a little bit. I'm a little upset. I'm not going to say I'm upset. I'm just really passionate. You're seeing the passion in me. because it bothers me. It bothers me. It bothers me to see us getting ripped off, and then these folks sit back laughing with your money. Stella gave away a $600,000 house and got nothing. Yes, I said 600,000, and right now that house is worth probably like almost $1 million. And Mother's is too. The one I just was over there in North Oakland. All them houses in North Oakland worth between $700 and $1 million. And Mother got a big old house over there worth $700 to $1 million. She only owed 200 and some odd thousand on it, you know. And I'm like, what, Mother? Let's go get her a ramp. See, Pete, I mean, her family may not want it because they want to get that money. I really don't care. I'll go put a ramp in her house. I'll spend the whole $600,000 to put a ramp on there so she can get in, so she can live her best life for the rest of her life. They carrying her in and out the house. Mama can't even get out the house. I went over there to see her yesterday. Her leg is all swole up. She done shrunk down to like, I don't know. I mean, I can tell you she's a little lady already, but she was so much smaller. And then I know she's got cancer, and I know she's 87 years old. Who else gonna take care of her? Those people don't know what to do. The people in the house with her, they don't know what to do. But Mama knew to call me. And she blew my phone up until I got there too. You can believe it. And not only her, but her daughter in Virginia called me. In fact, I called her and told her, we ain't moving Mama into no basement. She ain't my mama, but she my mama, and I ain't letting y'all put her in no damn basement. Okay, we ain't doing nothing with the basement. In fact, there's nothing wrong with the basement. The house is not falling off the crown foundation. The house has moved. All houses move. And her house is no different than any of the others. It has moved, but it's not hers. Her safety is not in jeopardy in being in this house. We are not condemning this house. She's safe living in this house. So I went and determined that, and I wrote on, Mama can stay right here in her bed where she at. And we're going to try to figure out a way to get her a chairlift to get her in and out the house, because her grandson is having to pick her up and walk her down the stairs, which is about 8 stairs. She can't walk no more. So we're going to do what we got to do, folks. But that's my Wisdom Wednesday today. Take care of our grandparents and our parents. Make sure that they're not getting scammed. And also for you, make sure these phones, you do not do business or give people your credit card and all that stuff when they call you. If they call you, that's not somebody you're going to do business with, giving them no credit card. Okay? Now, if you call them and you verify it and when you vet it, who it is that you're talking to, and you know that it's the right people, it's no problem with giving someone your credit card if you're calling a company. But if you calling some individual scamming you, trying to get your credit card, that's how we losing money in our community. And many of the senior citizens are not reporting it because they don't know it, or they're too ashamed to tell you that it happened. So therefore, we need to start looking out and be looking out more so for our senior citizens. Hey, that's my Wisdom Wednesday today. Thank you guys for coming through. We normally come on at 2 p.m. on Wednesdays. I did come on today, but we had to come back because the recording was very, very bad. And I wanted this to get out. I needed people to see this. I need you to go back and review it. I need you to share this with everybody, because it's not just happening right here. It's happening all over the country. And you know it's them because they got these, what, we're going to call you because you're going to turn off your light. Man, shut up. Don't even call me no more. Who you think you talking to? And they doing that to our parents and our grandparents also. That's my Wisdom Wednesday. Wake up. Make sure we looking out for our parents and our grandparents, and even those seniors that don't got nobody, that you know that's by themselves. We need to go run up on them and try to make sure they okay too. Because them is the ones that getting, the ones that's over there by themselves, and they just want to get on the phone and talk to somebody, and they on the phone talking to these scam artists. And by the time they get you talking to the scam artist got the bank account, they know the driver's license, they know all of that because they trained to steal. And they're coming after our seniors in our community. So that's my Wisdom Wednesday. Let's take care of our seniors. This is not no deep spiritual one today. This is just straight from the hip. Take care of our seniors. Go make a point to go visit some of our seniors that are by themselves and let them know that there's help out here if they get in trouble. If you guys don't know about the real estate, y'all got my number. You see somebody in trouble, you call me, I'll roll over there with you to make sure we take care of our seniors. All right. God bless you guys. Thanks for stopping through tonight. Again, come back next Wednesday at 2 o'clock. We're going to give you what God give me to give you. And that's all. That's it. Good night.